Entschuldigung, Baron. Gabriel Knight ist hier, c'est Suzanne.
Lassen Sie bitte ihn herein. Gabriel, what a pleasure to see you so soon. Bringen Sie uns bitte ein zweites Glas Wein.
Hope I'm not taking advantage of your kind invitation.
Well, my invitations are meant to be kept. Come, warm yourself. I hope you like wine. I got hooked on the grape when I lived in France.
It's fine, Baron.
Call me Friedrich.
All right.
Good. I like to have things settled. You were going to tell me how you found the club and about your hunting in America.
Oh, there must be more interesting subjects.
No doubt. You are a man who runs deep, I suspect.
On my off days.
I find nothing more stimulating than a new companion. A fresh mind with treasures to reap. New thoughts like rare birds uncovered and examined, one by one. It is only when people know each other well that they run out of things to say.
May we never be so cursed. Are you from Munich originally?
No, I was raised abroad. But both of my parents had deep Bavarian roots.
Really? Where abroad?
All over. France, England, South America, North America. I love to travel.
So tell me about your family.
The von Glovers? We are not nearly as old a line as the Ritters, I'm afraid.
Do you have a wife? Children?
Good God, no.
You sound like someone else I know.
I've been picking up on certain similarities between us. Do you have relatives? How fares the Ritter family tree?
I'm the last.
I too. I suppose all trees eventually stop bearing fruit.
How'd you end up here?
My circumstances were probably not much different than your own. I wanted to return to the land of my ancestors, and so I did. Which reminds me, you were going to tell me how the Ritter family ended up in America.
My grandfather. He left the family and went to New Orleans.
But you chose to return to the family. Why?
If you want to know the truth, I didn't have a hell of a lot of choice.
Yes. I understand.
Tell me about the club.
I'd prefer it if you formed your own opinions. To be perfectly frank, I could use a fresh perspective. That's one reason why I invited you to join us.
How about telling me about the other club members?
Ah, my select few. You find them valuable friends once you get to know them.
Did most of them come to the club through you?
For the most part. Though occasionally, fate throws one into my lap.
All of the men at the club are from wealthy German families, I gather.
Yes, but it's not quite that simple. I am a believer in self-determination. Each man at the club must also be personally accomplished and gifted.
Really?
Absolutely. For example, von Eigner owns one of Germany's biggest meat butchering plants, and he runs an elite private brewery. It's true he inherited the business, but he's expanded it a great deal.
A butchery. Huh. And the others?
Price is recognized as one of the best trial lawyers in Germany. He seems pleasant enough in person, but you would be surprised how vicious he can be in the courtroom.
And Henneman?
Is with the government. He has a prominent position and is an acknowledged contender for higher office.
Really? How high?
There have been newspaper reports that predicted the highest.
That would be convenient for his friends, wouldn't it?
Such men are an asset to everyone who knows them.
And Baron von Zell?
Von Zell's family owned the majority of stock of one of Munich's oldest banks.
In his own personal accomplishments?
Gar is a quite promising young man. He was always top of his class, the best at anything he did.
I keep picking up a past tense here.
You haven't seen him at his best. He's going through a rough spot lately, I'm afraid.
There's something about the club I don't quite understand.
Yes?
I get the feeling you're not your average, ordinary hunting club.
No?
Well, that room in the basement, for instance.
I gather you've been exploring.
Well, the door was open.
It doesn't matter. You are right. Yes. The Königlich Bayerische Hofjagdloge is more than just a hunting club. We share certain philosophical beliefs as well.
I'm curious about these philosophical beliefs of yours. Can I talk you into enlighten me?
Are you really interested?
Yes.
I'm glad. You seem to be the sort of man who would appreciate our way of thinking. The men at the club and I, it is our desire to reconnect with our true physical nature.
Go on.
Think of it this way. What makes man different from any other species on this planet? Civilization, of course. Oh, it's not a bad thing, human society. But it has come at a terrible price. Through civilization, man has lost his physical self, his sensory power, his instinct, if you will. He became fat and lazy, a dulled, rusted blade.
And those are my good days.
Picture a beast in the woods. It is alert. It smells. It sees. It feels everything around it. It can tell where some other animal has passed days before, where food is to be found. It can sense danger. You put civilized man in the woods, and he's comparably deaf, dumb, and blind.
I hear you, but isn't some of that related to physical makeup? Our senses of smell and hearing aren't as sharp as those of wolves, for example.
That's just it. Surely man once had those abilities. As generations of city dwellers failed to use their most acute senses, genetically they started to fall away, the way limbs wither when not exercised. I believe we can hold this degeneration. And not only hold it, but recover that which was lost.
It's an interesting concept. Do you have any proof that such powers are recoverable?
Proof? I felt things myself. Keener hearing, sharper smells, but documentable proof? That is harder. To what extent we can recover these primal abilities, and what some of those abilities might prove to be, that is what we still struggle to find out.
You're very convincing, Friedrich. There's no doubt that the potential is fascinating.